applaud the fact that the reports say he's taking less money than he was going to be offered at Arsenal. He wants his career to progress maybe in a different way, so we have to applaud him for that. He talks a lot about playing central midfield, so I'm going to be interested to see how that one plays out, really, because Liverpool have probably got 5 or 6 central midfield players really good, and I'm not sure Oxlade-Chamberlain, when everyone was fit, would get in that midfield 3. You've still got Coutinho and Lallana to come back to the players who performed so well at the weekend. So it remains to be seen to me how that one's going to work. In terms of bringing him in for the squad at this moment, and but central midfield, I'm still scratching my head on that one, because I haven't seen enough of him in that position, really.
Well, he has completed his move to Liverpool, and Oxlade-Chamberlain then posted a message to Arsenal fans on his Instagram saying this: after 6 years, 3 FA Cup wins and countless incredible memories, the time has come for me to move on. I want to publicly thank Arsene, the coaching and club staff, and my amazing teammates for all of the incredible opportunities I've been given. Thank you so much to you, the fans, who have always had my back. I honestly couldn't be more grateful. The club and my time here will always mean a massive amount to me. Couldn't be more grateful. The club and my time here will always mean a massive amount to me. I know my choice might come as a surprise to many, and the decision to leave was tough after being a part of the club for so many years. But I feel that this move is right for the next stage in my ongoing development.
So then Oxlade-Chamberlain is in, but what about the other big question marks around Liverpool, namely Philippe Coutinho, Virgil van Dijk as well? Vinny O'Connor, what do we know?
Sorry to dampen things down a little bit in many respects. Obviously, we know about that link with Thomas Lemar, the fact that Liverpool have been interested as well. I told you a few hours ago, though, that there was no plan. We know about that link with Thomas Lemar, the fact that Liverpool have been interested as well. I told you a few hours ago, though, that there was no plan here at Liverpool to go and rival that bid that Arsenal had lodged. And despite the fact that that deal looks to be falling down now, it still seems to be the case here at Liverpool that there are no plans to go back in for Thomas Lemar. On top of that, of course, it's a very similar situation, I suppose, to the one Liverpool find with Philippe Coutinho and Barcelona's attempts to sign him this summer. Liverpool have maintained a firm stance that he's not for sale. Once again, that appears to be the case as well. There's been obviously no further bids today from Barcelona for Philippe Coutinho. There's been obviously no further bids today from Barcelona for Philippe Coutinho, but once again we certainly expect that if that were to happen, Liverpool would again reject Barcelona's advances. But with one coming in Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain for that £35 million that they've paid to Arsenal, signing a 5-year deal, being paid £120,000 a week. There have been a couple outgoings as well. Divock Origi going to Wolfsburg on a season-long loan. That deal will work out around about £6 million in terms of a fee. Also, Wolfsburg paying Divock Origi's wages. On top of that, we also expect Ryan Kent to go out on loan, again, possibly to a German club as well. Freiburg really in the frame. There was also interest, we understand, from Hanover, but Freiburg looks to be the favoured destination if that can get done in time. And one other outgoing today, Alan Rodriguez de Souza, having joined Apollon Limassol on a season-long loan. And Liverpool, of course, still have to sort out the futures of Mamadou Sakho. Joined Apollon Limassol on a season-long loan, and Liverpool, of course, still have to sort out the futures of Mamadou Sakho and Lazar Markovic.
Vinny, thanks very much. Now, Swansea have pulled off one of the biggest coups of the window after signing Renato Sanchez from Bayern Munich on a season-long loan. The move sees Sanchez reunited with Paul Clements, who he worked under at Bayern. Sanchez only moved to Germany last year for £27.5 million, having helped Portugal win Euro 2016. Tottenham have completed the signing of Serge Aurier from PSG for £23 million. He's a 24-year-old. Tottenham have completed the signing of Serge Aurier from PSG for £23 million. He's a 24-year-old right-back, an Ivory Coast international, and he's signed a long-term 5-year contract. And another done deal has seen Burnley sign striker Nahki Wells from Huddersfield for £5 million, and Wells has signed a 3-year contract.
How about this for a deadline day story? Diafra Sakho's attempting to push a deal through to a French side. Michael Waitman is there for us. What more can you tell us, Michael? French side, Michael Waitman is there for us. What more can you tell us, Michael?
Yes, well, we've been at West Ham's training ground since very early this morning, all of us waiting for the return of the sack. But I can confirm this seems to be the one place that he hasn't turned up today. It has been a remarkable few days for Diafra Sakho, hasn't it? He went to France yesterday to try and finalise a deal with Rennes. He took a medical, agreed personal terms, but all of this was without the permission of his club, West Ham. They expected the permission of his club in Sakho's camp. From there, he went to the London Stadium for a meeting with someone from the West Ham, someone from the West Ham team, and he wanted to discuss off-field personal issues. Now, the club's stance throughout all of this has remained the same. He's an integral part of the team, and he's not going to be sold on deadline day, and there's no time to find a replacement. It really has. Team, and he's not going to be sold on deadline day, and there's no time to find a replacement. It really has been a quite extraordinary journey throughout the day, and it's still not over. You've got a feeling this one might go just right the way down to the wire.
Michael, thank you. If it does, so many different ways of following it across the Sky Sport platforms, with the transfer blog and the Twitter page, of course, the website, and, of course, here with us on Sky Sports News this hour with our guest, Simon Jordan. And Simon, we've got to talk to you about this move, or attempted move for Diafra Sakho. I mean, we talk about player power. Attempted move for Diafra Sakho. I mean, we talk about player power, slightly reminiscent of Peter Odemwingie all those years ago. What do you make of it?
Well, I mean, you know my answer's going to be, I'm not going to like it. You know, players are employees of football clubs. They have to remember their position. You know, David Gold and David Sullivan will not like this. They will not like a player ultimately behaving in a fashion which kind of brings himself into disrepute and brings the club into disrepute, because he's West Ham's player. He makes, by association, he makes West Ham look a little bit silly and a little bit ridiculous because they haven't got control over a player. His agent, well, he makes West Ham look a little bit silly and a little bit ridiculous because they haven't got control over a player. His agent, well, God, you know, his agent's ideals that he should be at a racecourse rather than attending to things far more pressing. Look, my reaction to being, if I'm sat in a room with him, I'd say, what are you, an idiot? What are you, an idiot? You know, why would you behave in this fashion? You know, but at the end of the day, it will disappear into the ether. If West Ham's stance is that they don't want to sell this player, well, they've just found a surefire way to achieve that, haven't they?
Yeah, absolutely. How do you, talking about the stance, how will the West Ham owners be handling? Talking about the stance, how will the West Ham owners be handling this? What will they be thinking here?
Well, they really shouldn't be thinking too much. They should be thinking, where's Slaven Bilic in all this? They should be thinking, Slaven, this is your job, mate. Can you get this one of your players under control? Because this is not really kind of what we think our manager should be allowing his players to operate or to behave like. But by the same token, if they're close to their manager, which they purport to be, they'll possibly want to know what one of their charges is getting at or trying to get at. With the best will in the world, transfer deadline day is not a day for someone to be waxing lyrical about their personal problems. No. You know, we're not really that interested. We're interested in the business of transfers and not what's going on in your home life, possibly.
But clearly, he obviously sees his home life somewhere else. Now, if you've got a player, it comes back to the issue of unhappy players staying at football clubs. If you've got an unhappy player, can they rock the boat? And is it ever worth keeping hold of them? If someone says they want out, should you not just let them go at all cost?
Well, it depends on how many unhappy players you've got. You know, you're always going to have unhappy players because there's only 11 positions in the starting 11, obviously.
But clearly,
so you'll always have an element of people that are disenfranchised. The strength of the club, the strength of the owner, the strength of his relationship with the manager will determine the character of the team. You know, team reflects leadership. If